as bad as the response was, the communications is an utter train wreck. It's terrible. It's almost a 0 on a scale of 1 to 10. And they weren't known for that, but they are now. Because it's not just Republicans screaming about this, it's Democrats, independents, anybody that's a consumer is just shocked.
State Senator Paul Bettencourt pledging a no stone left unturned investigation of CenterPoint's performance before, during, and after Beryl. In fact, that inquiry is scheduled to launch July 29th at the state capitol. Panel Bettencourt says CenterPoint will be grilled on exactly how much they have invested in vegetation management and why they didn't have a functioning power restoration tracking system to keep Houstonians informed. Charles, some splaining to do?
Yeah, and they definitely shouldn't. So at the hearing on the 29th and then the House's hearing on the 31st, I wish they were in Houston because that's where the ratepayers are. And so Houstonians shouldn't have to take a day off of work to go complain about an issue when they just didn't have power for about a week. But CenterPoint has no market-based incentive to do better, and our state lawmakers are the ones that need to be holding them and the Public Utilities Commission accountable. We are obligated to use CenterPoint. We have no other choice. And because of that, we have to look to our state lawmakers to hold them accountable. But yet these are the same state lawmakers that get campaign cash from CenterPoint. And CenterPoint has a nice retreat called the Pond off of Trinity Bay where they take state lawmakers. It's a nice fishing spot. And I asked one state lawmaker when I wrote my article for City Journal about this if he would comment, and he told me I would, but I'm not going to comment because I don't want to lose my fishing trip.
Wow, Holly, what do you think of that?
Wow, I'm sorry, I'm a little stunned. But
That's what I hear. I've never been.
Senator Bettencourt is right. I mean, this incident has united partisan parties here in the area, unified them behind we need to do something about CenterPoint. You know, it's one thing to say power will go out in a hurricane. Of course, you know, that happens. It happens every time we have a major storm. But as of Friday, there were still 20,000 people who didn't have power in the area from this storm. I mean, that is unacceptable. There are also questions about money that was spent on these large generators that were advertised as being mobile. Turns out they weren't mobile, and they were not able to use those to provide power to some of the more vulnerable locations in the city and the surrounding area. So, you know, and then the other thing about holding them accountable, they do have that request for increases before the PUC later this year, and whether or not they can turn a profit, I mean, that could be on the table.
Sue, my conversation with former Senator, now Mayor John Whitmire said, you know, it's kind of like, yeah, we're going to try to hold them accountable, but the state has all the power here, and it's going to be state officials like Bettencourt, Patrick, and Abbott that put the pressure on the PUC.
This should tell you everything. Jason Wells, the head of CenterPoint, has a press conference, and it's either arrogance or stupidity that he's sitting there and the focal point behind him, the only thing behind him is a thermostat that says 70 degrees.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's not good marketing. That's not good communication, Bill.
It's not good decision making, yes.
Paul, jump in here, because you talked about the profit that they've made. I mean, it's guaranteed profit. And look, even if Bill's right, we can't go whole-scale cut up, but we can do better on the vegetation control than they're doing. We can be smarter. We can ask for voluntary stuff.
Yeah, I saw a graph that CenterPoint spent half as much money as one of the other monopolies. Energy, I think, spent twice as much money per customer than CenterPoint did. So there's money that they should be spending that they haven't spent, and I think that's where the accountability is going to lie.
Yeah, Bill, if I were running their communications, and I'm not, I would have come out and said, we're going to improve vegetation. We're going to immediately improve it by 30–40%, our budget. That would be 30 seconds.
So I don't know why, but CenterPoint used to have this press conference at the beginning of every hurricane season, and they said if we have a Category 1, you should be prepared to be without power for a week. If it's a Category 2, 2 weeks, Category 3, 3 weeks, and so on. They stopped doing that a few years ago, and I think the result is people have gotten this idea that somehow power is going to be restored immediately in these situations, and that's just not realistic.